form of a runoff. And recently, Jeff Duncan, the Republican lieutenant governor of Georgia, said Herschel Walker was, quote, granted a mulligan in the form of a runoff, an extra 4 weeks to convince the 200,000 Georgians who pulled the lever for Governor Brian Kemp, of course a Republican, and Senator Warnock, the Democrat, to change their minds. The lieutenant governor joins us now, along with CNN political commentator and former South Carolina Democratic state lawmaker Bakari Sellers. Lieutenant Governor Duncan, let me start with you. With less than a week left until Election Day, really 6 days now, do you think that Herschel Walker has convinced enough Georgians to send him to the Senate?
Well, there's a serious imbalance of energy right now. The Warnock campaign seems to be gaining steam and momentum, and every time you turn on the TV, there's a Warnock ad running. And it's not necessarily the case the Walker side, right? I think, as you just mentioned, there was a brief 5-day period where he was kind of absent from the campaign trail. The ads don't seem to be as numerous. And there does not feel like there's a ton of energy. This all came down to the suburbs. Can he convince the 200,000 people that voted for Brian Kemp but voted for Raphael Warnock in the general to show up and to click on his name? And it doesn't feel like that's happening.
So you told CNN in the fall that Walker didn't do enough to get your respect or your vote in November. Will you be voting for him next Tuesday?
I showed up to vote this morning. I was one of those folks who got in line and spent about an hour waiting. And, it was the most disappointing ballot I've ever stared at in my entire life since I started voting. I had two candidates that I just couldn't find anything that made sense for me to put my vote behind. And so I walked out of that ballot box showing up to vote but not voting for either one of them.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Stop that. Jeffrey Duncan, that's a disgraceful reply. You're supposed to be a Republican, and you don't see anything that Herschel Walker is about that aligns with you. How disgusting. So you go on one of the most depraved news networks that everybody knows. CNN is full of lies. You're on there with a Democrat operative. Basically, you are the Liz Cheney of Georgia, period. Liz Cheney, worse than the Uniparty up in Washington, right down here on our local level. What a disgrace. So I guess pro-life is not good enough for you. Supporting the police back in the blue is not good enough for you. These are all conservative values, which are contrary to what Democrats believe in. But you pick the slimiest news network to go on, parading around here as a Republican. You're the new Liz Cheney of Georgia. What a disgrace. This is, what's worse than a Democrat is a Republican that votes with them and sides with them. All of this time and all of this is by design. Brian Kemp's parading around here like he supports Herschel, this, that, and the other. Tell me how it was a blowout. All the other candidates on the ticket. But Herschel Walker is the only one that had a runoff in Georgia. Something don't add up to me. That can't be a coincidence. Then you have this guy coming out a few days ago on CNN to muddy up the waters even more. You say what you want to say about Herschel Walker. He's given his life to Christ. He supports families. He supports life. He supports the police. Everything that's got to do with safe communities, he support. Name one thing that the Democrats are about that supports safety and good things for families. Name one thing. Where is it? It doesn't exist. We're talking about it on this War Room page because, listen, politics is a business deal. If we vote for you, what are we going to get out of it? Warnock has already went on the record and demonized police. That's him. That's his speak, not mine. Is that what we want in our communities? I don't think so. Not after this report I just did earlier, talking about you got 50, 60 kids breaking into somebody's house, having a party out in Houston, tearing up these folks' house, throwing up in people's yards. What do you think Warnock is going to say or support some type of responsible policing? It's not going to happen. And I know this is a local problem, but you got to understand this. All of these national issues roll downhill to local. Just take a look. Look at all the stuff that Joe Biden has been talking about. All of this restorative justice and justice this and justice that. What we've been hearing at these school boards? The same thing. This is not about a party. This is about the values for your kids, safety, and their future, and for this nation and this country. This is not about how somebody can make you feel. You got to look at the black and white in this. And what's good and what's according to our Constitution. These folks, Warnock is anti-Constitution. He's proven it. And Jeffrey Duncan, you are a disgrace, period. To go on national television and to say Herschel Walker, who's truly got conservative values, that wants to vote and back the blue, safe communities, pro-life, which are all conservative Republican values, and you go on national television and try to throw a bomb at the end leading up to this runoff on Tuesday. You ain't no Republican. You Liz Cheney with a man haircut. Period. This is a disgrace. I could really dig in on you right now, but I ain't gonna even go there. It's too much for this audience. It's too much. But we need to lay the chips out on who you really are behind closed doors. Period. We've had enough of this uniparty activity in Georgia, in our county and nationally. And the people ain't gonna stand for this. We're not gonna stand for it. We're not gonna accept it anymore. Period. You can make your side, whatever you got going on, but you are not a Republican. You're not. You're not a conservative. You might have an R by your name, but you are the male Liz Cheney of Georgia, a disgrace. And the people don't want you and don't want to have nothing to do with you. You are the Gavin Newsom of the Republican Party right here in Georgia. Period. It's awful disgrace what you went on television and did. Assaulting Herschel's character. He's gotten saved, given his life to Christ, asking Christ to forgive him for his sins. Who are you? You're nothing. You're nobody. He ain't got an answer to you. Period. These values that these Democrats, you're basically saying you want a Warnock in office. Oh, I don't know who to vote for. Really? You don't know what Herschel, you ain't went to one of Herschel's rallies to see what the man got to say? Look him in the eye and see what he about? That's what men do. This going on the national television and stabbing him in the back, man, it's garbage behavior. The good people of Gwinnett County, I'm reporting on this because I want you to pay attention to the malfeasance that's going on in Georgia. Ain't nobody coming to save us. Nobody's coming to save us. This is on me, you, and all the rest of our colleagues to get this done. We got to continue to try and take over our school boards with every legal remedy that's possible. Stay involved, stay engaged in the fight, because this is what's going on in the Republican Party. And I'm not trying to pick nobody's politics or what side you go on. What I am asking you to do is look at the issues. Look at the issues that we're having, and then look at the party that you support. And this guy is going on national television, stabbing a good candidate in Herschel Walker in the back. Now, what Herschel's done in his past, I'm not God. I ain't got a heaven or a hell to put this man in. It's my duty to forgive him. You know, he's not done nothing to me, but God has forgiven him and has moved on. And he's telling everybody what he's about. And all of that lines up with what we want for our children. Warnock, it ain't even close. He throwing people out of a apartment building for less than $30 down in the city of Atlanta. That's what he's doing. The paperwork is out there. Go look it up yourself. Don't take my word for it. This is not the kind of guy we want in office. And Jeffrey Duncan, you're not either. This is a disgrace. It's a stab in the back to the people in Gwinnett County, the people in this state, and the people in this country that believe in the Constitution, that believe in backing the police and having safe communities. That's the bottom line. That's all I got to say tonight. This. Let me go, because I don't want to say nothing. My pastor might be watching this. And he told us that we need to stand up bold and get involved in our communities. And I want to keep it at that. I want to come in no hotter than hot. Y'all have a good night.